All right, let's just jump right in. We need to talk about a change that's happening as we speak. A change so massive that the very people building the technology are trying to sound an alarm that most of us just can't hear yet.
I want you to think back for a second. Think back to February 2020. Everything felt pretty normal, right? And then, in what felt like the blink of an eye, the entire world was turned upside down. There was that strange, brief moment, that little window where the threat seemed so distant, maybe even a bit overblown, just before it became incredibly, undeniably real.
Well, according to tech CEO Matt Schumer, that's precisely where we are right now with artificial intelligence. We're living in that calm before the storm moment, massively underestimating a force that is about to fundamentally reshape our world. So yeah, let's dig into this idea, this familiar feeling, the feeling of being right on the edge of something huge that we are just not ready for. Now look, the comparison to a global pandemic isn't a perfect one-to-one, and that's not really the point. The real insight here is about how our brains handle exponential change. We tend to just wave it off until it's right on our doorstep. So the core argument is simple. A monumental technological shift is happening, and almost nobody is prepared for it. So let's get into what's actually going on today. Because if your opinion on AI is based on something you tried last year, or shoot, even 6 months ago, you're working with information that is dangerously out of date. And I know what a lot of you are probably thinking, because it's the number one thing I hear. Oh yeah, I played around with it. It wasn't that great. It just made things up, and the code it spit out was terrible. And you know what? When you tried it, you were probably right.
But you have to understand, in the world of AI development, months are like years. The velocity is just insane. I mean, what was a cool trick in 2023, passing a law exam, became a genuinely useful coding assistant by 2024. The projection from here? By late 2025, the very best engineers will be letting AI handle most of their coding. And by early 2026, we're expecting new models that will make everything that came before feel like a horse and buggy. Your 2024 experience is literally ancient history.
And this slide just perfectly captures that jump. We've gone from an AI that you had to constantly babysit to new models where you can just give it a high-level goal, walk away, and come back hours later to find the job done. This isn't just a better tool, it's a shift to an autonomous partner, one that developers are saying actually shows judgment and taste. And listen, this isn't some sci-fi prediction. This is happening right now to people on the bleeding edge. They're not guessing what might happen, they're telling you what has already happened to their own careers. The role of the technical expert is shifting to that of a creative director, and the AI is the one doing the heavy lifting. Okay, so why is this all happening so incredibly fast? Well, it's not just a steady improvement. There's this incredibly powerful feedback loop at play, an engine that's driving this whole thing forward exponentially. Let's look at the actual data. This is the key. According to the research firm Meter, these are the folks who actually benchmark these AI models, the complexity of tasks an AI can handle all by itself is doubling about every 7 months. Think about that. This isn't a gentle slope upwards. It's a rocket launch. Just look at this chart. It's stunning. In 2022, a top AI could handle a complex task that might take an expert human, 36 seconds? Fast forward to mid-2024, and it's up to 11 minutes worth of work. Today, we are talking about models that can work on their own on a problem that would take a human expert 6.5 hours. The growth is just off the charts. So what's happening here is what researchers call the intelligence explosion. And it's a pretty simple idea, but it changes everything. We're now using smarter AIs to help us build the next generation of even smarter AIs. It creates this flywheel effect where the entire system gets faster at getting faster. And if you think that sounds like something out of a movie, it's not. OpenAI said this in a press release this year. The AI was instrumental in creating itself. The loop is closed. That flywheel we talked about, it's not just spinning anymore. It's gaining unbelievable momentum as we speak. So what does all this tech acceleration actually mean for you and me, for the real world? Because this isn't just some interesting thing for coders to talk about. This kind of progress is about to send a massive shockwave through our entire economy and society. Dario Amodei, he's the CEO of the AI company Anthropic. He's on record predicting an unemployment rate somewhere between 10 and 20%, specifically because of AI. To give you some context, we haven't seen numbers like that since the Great Depression. And his quote is pretty chilling. He just says, "I don't think this is on people's radar." To really get your head around the scale of this, Amodei has this brilliant thought experiment. I want you to imagine that tomorrow morning a new country just appears, and it has 50 million people. Every single one of them is more brilliant than any Nobel Laureate that has ever lived.
Now let's add to that. Imagine they can think 10 times faster than any human, and they never, ever sleep. What would that do to the global economy? To national security? Experts are pretty clear. This would be the single biggest, most serious challenge humanity has ever faced. And that, right there, is the scale of the disruption we are talking about. And let's be crystal clear, this isn't about automating factory jobs. This is different. AI is a substitute for cognitive labor, for thinking. And the tools to disrupt all these white-collar professions, they're not coming in 5 or 10 years. For jobs in law, finance, and software, they are here right now. The economic ripple effects will take a little time to spread, but the underlying technology has already arrived.
Okay, so that's the wake-up call. It's a lot to take in. But the point of this is not to feel helpless. It's to get prepared. There are real concrete steps you can take starting today to not just get by, but to actually thrive in what's coming.
So here it is, your 4-step playbook. Number 1, get serious. Use the paid versions of these tools. The free versions are a year out of date. Number 2, stop treating it like a search engine. Give it real work. Ask it to build a solution for you. Number 3, assume it has no limits. I'm serious. Take your hardest, most complex problem and just throw it at the AI. You will be absolutely stunned by what it can do. And number 4, become the expert. Just 1 hour a day actually using these tools. Do that and you will be ahead of 99% of the population.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it? The barrier to entry right now isn't a computer science degree or a ton of money. It's just curiosity. It's a willingness to dive in and learn. The single biggest competitive advantage you can possibly have in this new era is simply being early. The very people who are creating this revolution, from the CEOs of OpenAI to Anthropic, they are the ones telling us to pay attention. They are practically screaming from the rooftops that we need to wake up. The next wave isn't coming. It's already here. So the only real question is, are you ready for it?